All right. Looks like we're live and everything. Well, snap. There we go. Okay. My desktop's horrible. I'm sorry. Go ahead and got Photoshop open. Got everything good to go now. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this going. All right. So one of the most common questions that I get is mainly about Photoshop and how I use Photoshop to create things like this. So which this is just some text. Actually, I'll show you. It's a PNG that I made off of that I purchased from Etsy, and then I put a white layer behind it to get that effect, and just a couple other things like that white outline instead of that color, and then the composite of this. So, but the purpose of this video today, guys, is to let you know about this new Photoshop course that I'm offering. That's going to be freaking amazing. Um, we'll go ahead and start going over that because people keep asking about a Photoshop course, and I finally laid it out as kind of a session thing. I went ahead and built a web page where I'm partnering with Thinkific on this. Um, it gives you a little bit about me, but mainly let's dive into the curriculum and what you would learn. Of course, there's an intro requirements, intro to Photoshop, intro to me, what to expect from the course, uh, technical requirements for the course, like, hey Donna, how you doing? Just going over the new Photoshop course, what you can expect from a Photoshop course, the requirements, Photoshop help section. We'll dive into that. And this is just a course I've been working on. It'll be for sale here soon. Um, Introduction to the Adobe Creative Cloud and the workflow. If you're not familiar with that, I'm going to definitely put that in as part of the course. These are just kind of laid out kind of roughly, so they are very subject to change, as well as the as well as all the lettering and such, just to make it a little easier. The Photoshop interface, the primary toolbar, we'll be reviewing the toolbars, the foreground and background colors, various windows and arrangements, like how I have mine arranged. Because there's a million different ways you can do it. You can do the presets for like the brushes and adjustments and actions. Like sometimes I'll use the actions, like RGB to grayscale, a frame channel, all kind of stuff. Sepia toning, I used to use that all the time. Just various window things. The layers palette. We're just going to go over the whole Photoshop interface and exactly what does what. Let's see. The next step is all about layers. All about files and sizing. Resolutions, file sizing, raster vector, measurements as far as physical measurements from your products, opening files, creating files, and note about color modes, CMYK versus RGB. That'll be part of the Photoshop course as well. Next up, we will go over layers, which is Photoshop's bread and butter, and that's basically what are layers, how do I work with layers, all about layer ordering, layer visibility and locking, naming and color coding layers, trying to stay organized, layer groups that hold layers together. That way you can keep everything just ultra organized, unlike how I do this file right here. You see layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4. That's a bad way to do it. Don't do that. Don't do it like that. That's just how I do my personal files for what I know I'm not going to reuse or sell or anything. It's not uncommon for me to have layer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Layer blending modes, layer opacities, stuff like that. After that, we'll probably run over the selections in Photoshop, which is the marquee selections, the various lasso selections, object quick selection at my favorite magic wand tool. Love the magic wand tool, big fan. And also the framing tool, which is something I don't really know. I don't know that much about, but I figured I will learn. And each one of these will actually be an individual video. Some of them may be text lessons where it makes sense, like what to expect or like the requirements for course. Like some of those will be text, like especially the requirements. I can see that. Let's see. Selections in Photoshop. Real world exercises. I guarantee you that will be one of the last lessons. I don't know why I have it so far up, but this will be pushed to the bottom, and it'll be like, and these will be basically taking the combined knowledge of what you have and doing real world things. Like it'll start off simple, like cropping an image, color correction, retouching photos, removing backgrounds, straightening an image, changing colors, like things like changing a shirt logo, patching images using the clone stamp tool, basic compositing, advanced compositing, and like we'll do like a car photo with like some text at the bottom, a memorial graphic, and then we'll make a template from scratch. And that'll be probably the last real world exercise. Sorry. Very tired. Messed around and didn't get enough sleep. All right. This will be toward the bottom of it. I'll resort these based on the order we should be learning them in. Next up will be colors in Photoshop, color palette, color selection, color replacement, and color effects. Text and typing. This is where we'll spend a lot of time. This will probably be like a 30-minute lesson, to be honest. Adding text, editing text, finding and installing fonts, modifying styling text, and also type mask. Gradients in Photoshop, we'll do a gradient tool and also go over the gradient overlay. Two different ways to do gradients, and also how to use the gradient tool. The big one that a lot of people don't understand, layer mask, we'll go over that. What is a layer mask, how to make layer mask, modify and remove layer mask. The history palette, how you can undo and revert to previous states and all that. Next, we're going to do printing for Photoshop, which is going to go over settings, physical sizing, how to divide things on multiple pages, and also a very special on paper settings and how to choose the correct paper settings. Quick actions in Photoshop. What are actions? How to create an action, and also using an action. All those will be pretty cool. They'll be included in the thing. As you can see, I'm a big fan of actions. Most of these are just like like say you wanted to resize a bunch of images and save it and close it and all that. Super easy stuff. All right, let's see. Templates and mockups, how to measure and make flat templates using a scanner for template making for like the Workforce 7720. Designing t-shirts, all about mockups. So we're also probably going to have one about designing like tumbler and cup mockups. Layer styles, this will be further up. What are layer styles? Sorry. How to use layer styles, best practices for layer styles. And then adjustment layers, which is what are adjustment layers, creating the layer adjustment layer, and then modifying or removing an adjustment layer. And all this will be covered in the curriculum of the Photoshop course. And overall, I'm expecting it to be no less than like probably 3 to 4 hours of content. It's going to be a lot of content because we're going to have a lot to review here based on what you see. I figure each one of these will be a 5 to 10 minute lesson, pretty straightforward. All right, now where I need your guys' help, I'm going to give away some of the copies of it. I'm probably going to give away like 5 of them. And what we'll do is it'll be in this link right here. I'll go ahead and drop a link in the chat. And that is directly to the form. And what you'll want to do with that, if you fill this out, you can help me build out this Photoshop course. How did you hear about the Photoshop course? Your name, and then it'll ask you various things about how long you expect the course to be, what price, and then on the next page, it'll give you things like anyway, it'll ask you your comfort level on various things, like how comfortable you are with layer mask, how comfortable you are with layers, things like that. And then it'll ask you, I think, what's your biggest pain point of learning Photoshop, I think is one of the questions. So stuff like that. And if you fill that out, we're going to give away 5 free Photoshop courses. And as you can see, it's not going to be incredibly cheap. I mean, it's probably going to be a $50 course when it's all said and done. But at least then you can help build the course. You can get a free version of it. And like I said, I'm doing this to help out. And I know everybody wants to learn Photoshop, but they want to learn it they want to learn bits and pieces that's helpful for sublimation. So that's exactly what I'm putting together. So I'm spending a lot of time on this course. It's going to be pretty awesome. But I think that's all I had for today, guys. That's what I wanted to shout out. Once again, this link will be in the description below. You can fill that out, get you a free course, hopefully, and help me build out this course and make it as great as it can be for you guys and also the future generation of sublimation users. So, all right, guys, have a good one. I appreciate it. Hey, Ed, how you doing? Kind of called me at the tail end of it, just going over the the Photoshop course. You may have to rewatch the VOD or the thing, but yeah, I built this website and all that. It's not quite ready yet, but we went over the course curriculum, all that good stuff. But all right, guys, I'll see y'all later.